everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. I'd like to welcome you all here to our chat about our predictions for episode 8 of The Wheel of Time. I'm Sandaria, and I'm here with my friends Koala Sedai, Nynaeve Sedai, and Matt Stagger, who have all kindly made time to join us and share their ideas, their predictions for episode 8, but also their opinions maybe on episode 7 as well. So thanks everybody for showing up. I wanted to start really quick just by saying that we're going to try to limit our spoilers through book 6, which is The Shadow Rising. We will be discussing, we are book readers, so we will be discussing some spoilers. So if you are a show only person, we will try and give spoilers, like talk about it before, but this probably isn't the show for you. Next week, after episode 8 airs, I will be talking with some show only people, so come back for that. And we'll stick just to the show for that. But for today, yeah, spoilers through The Shadow Rising, but not through the end of the series. So if you're only a few books into the series, we can still chat here. So let's go ahead.
So we're only going to book 5, are we?
Pardon?
Yeah, 5.
5.
We're only going to book 5, not 6.
Not 6. Right. Did
Yeah,
I say
Fires
6?
of Heaven and 6. Yeah.
Yep, I got them backwards there.
Okay.
Shadow Rising, I think,
Lord of
book 5.
Chaos.
That's all right.
That's all right. End of book 5, I think.
I can't keep them straight either. Don't worry.
Is the Shadow Rising 4? I am getting confused. I was thinking
Shadow Rising is 4.
Yeah, 4. And then
yeah, the Fires of Heaven.
It's like
I'm trying to add
out here.
But we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves is the point, because we're trying to stick to either our predictions for episode 8 and or what might go into the next season. We don't want to predict too far ahead, like season 5, season 6. So we're looking at basically the next season of TV, and no further than that is kind of our idea here today. So we can start out, first of all, by talking about episode 7, which depicted the Battle of the Two Rivers. So I wanted to ask you guys kind of to start off and warm up. What do you think was your favorite moment? Do you want to start out, Matt? Would that be okay?
Sure. I think my favorite moment has to be Perrin and Aiel fighting together. That whole sequence was just chef's kiss, beautiful.
Stabby, Aiel.
She went full Chucky mode, and it made me so happy.
Aiel is
my
great.
wife was cheering, and I'm like, yes.
That is a great shot. Okay, so what about you, Koala? What was your favorite bit of 7?
Perrin saying violence never ends until someone says enough. He just delivered that so perfectly.
Illa certainly liked it when he said that too. You could see that it gave her a little moment of hope. So what about you, Nynaeve?
I actually he just kind of took his fear and just threw it aside and just went, I'm going for it. I need to put it aside. I need to be strong for everybody. And then he turns to Aiel and is telling her to get behind him, and she's looking really annoyed, and he's like, get the ones that I miss. I love that moment.
I love that too. Brilliant. The look she gives him, like she's like, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Respect.
That smile. Yeah, that smile.
I think same, it's kind of in general for me, the whole relationship building that they got to do, because a lot of people, of course, have issues with Aiel specifically and their relationship in the book series, which is kind of understandable at times. I've always actually liked Aiel. I'm one of those people, but they've made her real. I mean, whatever annoying bit she had, they've kind of, without, I don't know, they didn't get rid of her fire or her prickliness even, and I like the fact that they kept her character intact while somehow making her less annoying to the people that found her annoying. So she's really great. Well done in the show. Love it.
They smoothed rough edges of her character. There were some prickly burrs, just in cases. I didn't dislike her in the books, but I love her on the show. So.
Yeah. The actress is, and I love, there's something also about the physical difference, seeing them, and both of them nail it. Perrin is this gigantic, big, gentle, though, man, and with her, and she's so tiny, yet so fierce, and I don't know, just nails it. I love it. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to focus on negatives, and yet we have to recognize everything's not perfect. So what's your least favorite bit of episode 7? Like what could have been stronger? Let's start with Nynaeve this time.
I actually am probably one of those people that really enjoyed about 99% of it, but I didn't like that they let Pat and Fane go.
Oh
But I
yeah.
understand why, but it really irked me. It was like, for God's sake, just cut his head off already.
Kill him, kill him.
But and also yeah, I felt with when he hands himself over, I was, and like, it's a brilliant moment, it's very poignant, but I was like, why can you not just punch Dane in the face and tell him to go away? But they're all just personal opinions, you know. Otherwise, I think it was 100. For me, it was one of the best episodes this season,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
it broke me.
Yeah.
Perrin does
Broke
have a
me.
tendency though to like let his enemies go. So let's see. What about you,
Mhm.
Koala?
I only have one thing, and that is the dirty they did on Marin Alvear when
Oh,
she said, "Oh, I hear you're a vegetarian, so I picked the chunks out." No, anybody else in the village could have done that, but Marin would not have done that to our two other aunt. That is my only criticism, not Marin.
that is an odd thing to do rather than just
Yeah.
make a quick potato soup
Oh,
or something, right?
as a vegan, I
Mhm.
can tell you that is not on. But the only redeeming thing in that scene was the way Aram went to go, okay, fair enough. And Eli gives him that look like, no,
I
you're
do
not
think,
touching that.
yeah, the point of that scene might have been to show how strict,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ila is, right, with their belief
It's just
system.
not Marin. Anybody else could have
Yeah.
served that to them. And I would have
Random
just laughed. But I'm
villager.
like, Marin
Yeah,
would not do that.
understood. What about you, Matt? Did you have any nits to pick
Yeah, just Hila's reaction to what Aram had to do, and he had to do it, in my opinion.
at
Um,
the end?
I understand where they're coming from, but because of episode 4, it's still raw. So to see it happen again, it just,
Hmm.
yeah, I dread
Aw.
that moment every time I watch it.
I think it's interesting because it does kind of convey different kinds of religious fundamentalism. Now, we kind of appreciate I do, certainly, I really, really love the Way of the Leaf, and I think it's a beautiful belief system. But, compared with the White Cloaks, which is not a beautiful system, but you still see how any kind of dogmatic belief system leads to a lot of, you know, suffering. There's no room for, like, except in certain situations, like, and I do think that it does a good job of portraying that. So, okay, let's see. Does anybody have any overall thoughts they'd like to share about 7? Any of the, let's see, what was the question I had exactly there? Oh, yeah, like your general thoughts, and then also thumbs up, like 2, thumbs sideways, thumbs down. I think obviously we're all probably in some, yeah.
Yeah, you
I
get
like
to.
7. I liked 7 better the
Yeah.
second time I watched it, by the way. I don't know why.
Ugh,
The first time, there
yeah.
was a couple of little things that I was like, what? And it might have been because I was watching with my husband, who is he's a very nitpicky watcher of shows. So he'll be pointing out, like, why is that happening? And so they kept catching, I kept catching things that he was pointing out. But the second time, when it was just more like just watching it, I did enjoy it a lot. I do think it is like, this is not, it's like one of the weaker episodes for me this season, but the whole season is like a 7 plus. So this is like, it's still better than anything in season 1, and right up there with the top of season 2 also. So, I mean, I'm not putting it down at all. It is still an excellent episode, in my opinion. So, and I am seeing a lot of like praise for the show in general, which makes me really happy. Okay, so if you guys want to move on to episode 8, or do you want to talk a little bit more about episode 7? I don't want to rush you. Do you have anything you wanted to add? Anybody can just raise your hand this time. Koala, go ahead.
I would just say with episode 7 that for me, even though I was so shocked, if you watch my reaction video, I'm like, I don't appear to be enjoying it because there was so much shock in it. But once I got over that, like, I love it because to me, they were able to embody the entire Wheel of Time story in what they portrayed. And that's what I love about this particular episode. If you just kind of take it on its own, it foreshadows everything just so beautifully, of balance. And so yeah, I just loved it. But it hits you, just
Oh yes.
hits you.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
does. Like, I cried each time I've watched it so far because
Oh yeah.
obviously you can't help it. Like, the initial shock of seeing Loyal and that moment, but it was such an epic moment, and how they did it was just fantastic, with the blending of the Heroes of the Horn music, and then him
And the
like
Netherine
roaring at
humming.
everybody, and him humming Manetheren just before the music comes on.
Yeah.
It was just so brilliantly done, and it was like you could see that moment in his eyes, that he knew it was time and it was going to happen, and he just came to terms with it, and it was just, you couldn't help but get all that emotion, and
Yeah.
I sobbed. I had to get hugged afterwards because I couldn't stop crying. But
I was genuinely
it was
shocked.
just,
Like, it's
oh,
Absolutely.
I was actually I frequently cry through all these episodes, but this was the first time I think I was yelling at the TV. So obviously, yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
engaged
yeah.
me. I was legitimately,
Yeah.
when he started hammering the floor, I was like, no, no. I'm looking at my husband, no, don't do that,
Yeah.
stop. I was like yelling at him.
Yeah. And yet, if we look back, they foreshadowed this. And this is
Yes.
another something I love about this episode. I have not heard a single person in all of the book reader fandom, particularly, who ever said, I reckon Loyal's going to die. And yet,
Nope.
when it happened, I realized they had foreshadowed it and we all missed it,
Yeah.
Oh,
Going back. What did you want to say, Matt?
I just, if you look back in season 1, everyone who got stabbed with the Shadow Logoth dagger is dead. Everyone.
Good point.
Oh, you're right.
Ingtar, Uno, and Loyal.
Okay,
And I'm
so
like,
that was.
"Ooh,
Oh my
Wow.
God.
oh yeah. And my name's Matt Stagger. I'm so sorry.
You're definitely paying attention to that. Wow. It definitely
All
it
your
is
fault,
definitely an
Bill.
emotional episode for sure. Okay, so leading into episode 8. First of all, do we think we will go back to the Two Rivers at all in episode 8? Does anybody think we will, or are we done there? We're like,
No,
No, I think
I
we're
think
done
it's
for this
done.
season.
I think it's done. That's it for the season. They've left it on a cliffhanger,
Yeah.
and we'll follow on the story in the next season. Because, to be fair, there's so much to be done in the next episode. There's just not room to have all the different elements. There's 4 different elements in this season, so it's mad. It's gonna be mad enough with 3 of the elements to get to close up and tie up all this till season 4.
Yeah.
definitely.
Agree. Hard agree.
So this was a
Yeah,
question I
same.
believe that Koala posed, and it was, what do you predict will be the cold opening scene for episode 8? So we're just going to start at the beginning and kind of work our way through the different plot lines. So Matt, what do you think might be our cold opening? If you have any thoughts. If not, that's okay.
I think it's for ousting the armor. That seems like a natural jumping off point, and we've been away from the tower for a little while now, so I think it's time we start there.
Okay, I like that one. What about you, Nynaeve?
Do you know what? I'm going to go with Elida as well, but I think it will be a flashback because they do really like their flashbacks for the cold opening. So I have a feeling it might be a flashback of her having her initial prediction and maybe even going to see the snakes and foxes to get her bracelet, and
Yeah.
we'll find out why she's
I
got
like
the
that.
bracelet.
That's a really good
I
one.
really
Damn, you
like
stole mine.
Is that what you think too,
Great
Koala?
minds.
Yeah, I
So we're all
do.
on board
Because I
with
think
Elida in some way, shape, or form being what's going to happen.
it's going to set up for Matt to go through into the Finn.
hmm
Is for non-book readers, what the fuck?
Right.
It's just because of the Finn are pretty wild.
That's
And
a
so,
really good guess, actually. It makes sense. I see what you're saying there. I was
yeah.
wondering.
And
So
they've
what's.
made such a big, sorry,
Go ahead. No, sorry. The time delay.
they've made such a big thing about her bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I did that little video on that, how, we got that snippet where we had the costume drawing, and it's pointing Finn bracelet. This is very important, piece of it. So and we've seen the handshaking, which I believe is the
Yeah.
price she paid. And so I think that if they nail that, then I don't know if we'll really see Matt with the Finn. That could be another cliffhanger, that he might, if they set it up with a lighter in the cold open, he only has to walk through the doorway at the end, and we'll all be like, oh my God, and they could then pick it up in season 4.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Because how much time do we have
Right. They
in
could,
one
Not a lot.
episode?
even if they put off Matt into season 4 at all, like entirely, at least the groundwork would be laid here in
Right.
episode 8, so that we don't even have to touch the storyline again. They've at least opened that door, pun intended. So I was wondering how they were going to deal with that, because they can't just have, and I don't want to jump to this, but they can't just have the big climax, which I'm guessing with no explanation. You know what I'm saying? They have to have some kind of
Yeah.
and that's that cold open is a really great way to lay that foundation for that. So I like that idea.
Absolutely.
I think we'll get Matt going through the doorway this season. There's been too much
Okay.
foreshadowing for it to not pay off this season.
Yeah.
I do think we'll
I
see.
agree.
I do think we'll see the Finn, but only for one reason, and that's the expanded posters they put out before the season even started.
Well, that's true. So he has to get it.
I'm like, he has
Right.
to.
Are they
good
combining
point.
the Finn, the Elfin, and the Elfin? They're combining the snakes and foxes into one group, it looks like. I mean, it kind of makes
Maybe.
sense.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a theory he might start with one group. So I always mix them up, and I shouldn't, because it's the opposite of what you think. So the eelfin are the foxes.
Yes.
Yeah. And the elf and the snakes.
Because they should be snakes with the word eel in it. So that's how I keep saying it's
I do the
opposite
same
of what
thing.
you think. Yeah.
That's how I keep it.
And it was the snakes that he meets first, correct? In the books?
Yes, that's right.
It's
Yes.
It's the snakes.
It's the snakes that you ask the questions of.
Mhm.
See, I always get mixed up. So let's not worry about that.
Yeah, I almost think it's irrelevant
If
in a
he
way.
goes
Don't kill me
in,
for
I think
that,
he
but-
might ask the questions and think that he's gotten away and run into the others to help, or they are going to help him, or I don't. But how much time is he going to get? So they may.
So where's the door frame?
They may have to just roll it into one. I just don't know.
What?
Panarch's
There's
Palace.
so much
The
to happen.
Panarch's Palace.
Okay. that makes
Panarch's
sense.
Palace, 100%.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah,
this
I
one,
mean,
we
it just
see-
makes perfect sense.
That would be the third door frame we've seen, because we've seen the one in the tower. No, wait. Is there only the one in the
Yeah,
tower?
We've only
that
seen one.
We've only seen, right.
We've only
now
seen
we've
the
seen it
one.
in a vision. Okay. Rapunzel
Yes.
says
Okay,
that
true.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
No,
then-
true. We saw the vision, and that might not be
The same
the
one.
Tarvalon one.
Right. So Rapunzel says that she thinks there's been pictures of the sitters in their shawls. Leanne was in a blue shawl. So yeah, she also thinks flashbacks to Swan's raising. That's her thought. Okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense, because that's when
And
Elida
we're
and her
trying to
went
stay
head-to-head,
away from
right?
leaked stuff.
Oh, I didn't say that, did I? I apologize. I should say that outright also, is we aren't discussing leaks, and we aren't discussing even the episode 8 specific trailer. We're only looking at the show through the end of 7 and the show trailers that were released in February. So, otherwise, if we're looking at the 8 trailer, then we actually see what's happening in 8, at least some of it. We can identify it.
And I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either yet.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. With these, I do watch the whole trailers. Like when the Dusty Wheel comes out with the full trailer and we're doing the big watch party, I always watch it a couple times with them. But I don't do breakdowns of it. I don't know why. I just feel like I like to get overwhelmed by it and just notice some stuff and then kind of, I don't know. A lot of it feels almost spoilery, which is stupid because I've read the books over and over again. But somehow I kind of want to experience this as new in a way. I don't know if you guys have that same sort of experience sometimes where every episode makes you sort of re-experience almost like how it was when you read the books. You know, it's all fresh and new again in a way.
Right. And they're surprises, even for us book readers.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
Loyal's death was like, exactly.
Didn't see it coming.
Didn't see it coming. Breaks your heart. But you understand it too, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Such a good choice. Yeah.
So, okay.
Makes
so do we
sense.
want to talk about Tanchico, the Tower, or the Aiel plot lines? We believe, I think, do all of us
Yes.
we'll see all 3 of those.
Let's-
in,
Let's go with Tanchico.
Tanchico
Let's
first.
go with Tanchico.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
because
since-
we've just been talking about the door frame, so it feels like a natural place
So
to
Nynaeve,
progress
since
to.
that was your option, what did you want to bring up about Tanchico that you think you will see in episode 8?
I want to see Nynaeve having her little battle with Moghedion in the
Little.
Panartis Palace. I know I'm calling it little, but you know what I mean. And I think Matt will get maybe pushed into the red door frame or something, or he'll jump in it thinking it will be a room somewhere.
It's
and
Matt.
that's
He'll
the
jump
way-
in.
somewhere we can, somewhere he can hide, and he'll suddenly find himself somewhere else. But I really just want a face-off between Nynaeve and Moghedion. Bring it on.
Me too. Yeah, that was very well
Yeah.
laid out with just that moment of foreshadowing the you're resisting me. And I'm here for it because I am tired of the Nynaeve hate. Come on, people. Get on the
She's the
Nynaeve
best
love
character.
train.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Matt Stagger? What do you think you'll see in Tanchico?
I'm hoping to see Nynaeve's block get shattered finally once and for all. As long as that
It won't
happens,
just be a
I'm
battle, it'll be the whole
happy.
break. Oh, that'd be
I think so, honestly, because fans
Wow.
are getting really burned out of her not being able to channel. Even non-readers are like, dude, this is too much. She can't
It
do
is.
anything. We need her to channel a little. And I'm like, okay, I think it's time to break her block in the show. So
I
I
think
would
you're
love
right.
to see that.
I think you're right about that. Even my husband, again, who, as much as I blather at him, he hasn't read the books, he doesn't know the story, and he's not a big Nynaeve fan, but his main problem with her is she's useless. He's like, she's so powerful, why is she so useless? Like, please make her do something. And so I do think that it would be wise for them to, break that block. So I agree with you there. So Koala, what did you think?
Well, I hard disagree on Nynaeve should get her block broken because it's too early. And I think that what we're seeing is what's really important for Nynaeve before her block is broken is that she begins to come into herself as a person. Right. So, and we're just starting to see that with Matt opening up to her and Matt wanting her to help him. And, you know, it would be a spoiler if I say what book she breaks her block in, but up until the books we're talking about, her block was not broken.
It was actually that
So,
scene that was
but
trying to, I
she
was trying to pick that
developed-
book. Like, that's where I want the
7.
spoilers to end. So that's
7.
7? God, I have
Yep.
terrible
This
memories
is
of what
where you
happens
got to
when.
remember half the series, Nynaeve
Yeah.
was blocked.
And that's too much.
But in the
It is,
second
it's way
half,
too
but
much.
in the
Too much.
second quarter, is when she really started to develop her steadiness in herself as a person before her block was broken. And I think that we need to see that happen because we've had the Nynaeve not coping with being blocked, I think that we're going to start to move past that, and next season her block will break.
Okay,
See,
next
I
season. So
Yeah,
you're
I think
still
it's,
seeing it soon.
and again, it's too much to, like, if that happens in this episode, how are we going to do the Tower coup, Alcair Dal, and
a
Nynaeve
lot of
breaking her
cuts.
block,
Like,
and Lorraine and
Back
Moiraine
and
and
forth.
Lanfear, and the doorway and the fit in there. No,
yeah.
too much.
That
Yeah.
is a lot.
And I
There is
know people are
also
getting cranky with it, but if she develops her steadiness in her as the person that Rand would trust for anything,
See,
that's what we need to see happen. Otherwise, she's just a powerful channeler.
she kind of already is, though. In the show, she's a little bit softened, and she's a little bit more. I won't say more confident, but I think she's become more confident quicker already. So
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what's happening for her, and that's
it
what we
makes
need
sense.
to, and if she has that with Megiddian, that's going to help her really, developing that. And that beautiful scene with the Waves Mistresses about,
Oh yeah,
you're standing too hard, and
grounded.
I think that we're going to get that Nynaeve character blossom, and then whoa, when that block's broken, look out! Now we've got
I
the
think
whole
they're
package, Nynaeve.
like both good points. It could go either way for both of the
Right.
reasons that each of
And
you
it
laid
could.
out. It could go either way. I do think there is a problem because Nynaeve's power level is so great. Once you break that block, you kind of have a bit of a power creep problem. Just technically speaking, with how do you solve issue A in the story, and it's like, well, why doesn't Nynaeve just solve it because she's the most powerful channeler, blah blah blah. And so there is a little bit of that would be my only concern. It's one of the reasons I'm sure that Jordan kept her blocked for so long. You can't like have a nuke and just
Yep.
unleash it in book one, then what, so
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so is anything else? I did have another question about. Oh, okay. So we have Mogiddian versus Nynaeve. We're all pretty much agree we're at least going to see some version of that in episode 8. I really hope so. That's a wonderful storyline. So, what is all of this about Elaine? Someone inform me what is going on here. I'm completely don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to get the image up here real quick, and we'll
Yeah,
talk
so I
about it.
gave you an image,
Oh yeah.
and the
From
image
months
on the
ago.
left was in the
There it is.
teaser trailer or the trailer. I can't remember. It might have
Teaser,
been
I
as
think.
early as
Yeah.
as
Teaser.
early as the teaser
Teaser.
trailer.
So
So
Yeah.
that one on
Elaine.
the left with the band on her head,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us were saying it's a wise one, and others were saying it's Elaine, and that started the whole Elaine or Elaine battle. And there is
I was
actually
an
a
Elaine.
website. There's actually a
I was
website,
also an Elaine.
isitelaine.com.
I'm now an Elaine.
Yeah, me too.
So,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh
I
yeah.
know, because it looks, because that's the makeup she's got on in Tanchico, but we have
Yeah,
not seen that yet. It could still be somebody using a mask of mirrors. It might not
True.
be. I am not convinced. And if you could see what Kevin did with that, that video that he made where he blurs
saw
each face in and out, and he's got it all on the angle. But
That's
I mean,
funny.
I kind of have to say I'm on the Elaine team now, but I've been really heavily Elaine all along.
Same.
I did want to mention in
So-
the chat, we have people saying that Nynaeve is a more complex character. This is from Kirky in the
Yes.
show. And I think that that's true. You can almost apply that to nearly every character. They've kind of fleshed them out a bit. And Nynaeve is definitely one. I think they've done a good job. I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
100%
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
So,
So
definitely
Sandaria,
see
Elaine
that,
or
yes.
Elaine?
well, new to me as news, I'm going to say Elaine, just off the top of my head, is we haven't seen. Oh my God. Now I mean, is that where Mogiddian's going to come at? No, we haven't really seen her do that. Nope, I don't. I think it's just Elaine. But guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah. Well, we have to
That's
see it in this episode because we have not seen that shot yet. And
Yeah.
so that's going to finally answer the question.
It's a great shot,
Yeah.
though. Thank you for
And
the comparison shot.
that's all right. And I want to see Megedion and Leandrin. I want to see their confrontation,
Yes.
So
right?
do you think that's going to
Because
come to a head as well?
My my thing is, I don't think we're actually going to get Moghedien versus Nynaeve just yet, because we
no,
really need resolution to Leandrin and Nynaeve
yeah,
first.
Okay.
So
I agree.
True.
I think that's where they're heading,
I agree.
honestly.
So we might get that and then save the bigger confrontation for later, like the bigger confrontation
Yeah,
between the big overpowered one. I know that it is a lot to put into one episode because we're talking about three. So each of these storylines.
I know.
So if they have what do you want to call it, like the climactic moment for the Tanchico storyline could be Leandrin versus Moghedien. It could be Nynaeve versus Moghedien.
Or
It could be
Leandrin versus
Nynaeve
Nynaeve.
versus
It could be
Leandrin.
Leandrin versus Nynaeve. It could be. But some
Yeah.
kind of like Black Aja, Forsaken, plus the
Yeah, there has to be a
girls.
reckoning.
There has to be a reckoning there. So some version of that's going to happen. So then when we move to next is the Tower, which some of us think we might see reconciled. We might see the entire. Do you think we might see like the whole climactic part in the cold open? Or do you think we're going to save that for like middle of the episode, end of the episode, where we're going to see the deposition of Swan and perhaps, I guess, the coup by Elida? So I'll call on somebody. Nynaeve. You look puzzled. Like,
Ah,
you think we'll see the whole thing,
I
first of all? Will we see that whole arc this episode?
I think we will because
Yeah,
I think we will. Yeah, and I think we'll see towards the end of their story arc, Leanna and Siobhan leaving, or don't hate me, potentially just Leanna leaving, because I wouldn't be surprised if they did kill off Siobhan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, without Gareth Bryn, and there's been no Gareth Bryn,
Yep.
I could see that happening.
Yes, it was mentioned.
uh,
He was
well,
mentioned.
he's
Yeah.
been
So
mentioned. Yeah, and I would go into a spoiler if if I said what I think Swan could do later.
Clarky
But I'm
says
on the fence. I can see
no.
them. I can see them killing or stealing. Like I
Uh,
can,
We have a
I
lot of
don't
Swan
know which they'll
fans.
do, but if they don't steal her, I think that there is stuff she can do. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean,
yeah.
Swan being stilled is a fairly
I think that's important.
important
I
part
think
of
it's absolutely
the, you know,
I
vital.
think they'll
so
Personally,
I think they'll kill
personally, I
her and then execute her. I'm
Ooh,
sorry to say.
dead. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Personally, I think it would have made more sense to have gotten rid of Lyanna and kept Shuan, because Shuan's experience is important for Egwene as a mentor for Egwene, and Lyanna's just very tertiary character-wise at the
Hmm.
moment and easily disposable. But I have a
So
feeling
can't
they're
that
going to
happen?
end up.
Yeah.
Might still happen, but
Yeah.
my biggest fear is that it's going to be the other way around. That it will be Shuan and.
I know
There's
it'll be
yeah.
hard to take, but if
Speaking of,
if they do it, I think it'll pay off. But I'm wondering, I'd love some thoughts from you guys on this. What will happen with Gallard and Garwin, right? Because they've dumped them at the tower now. So they're going to be there when the coup happens.
Right.
And I have like several theories because I can't figure out what they'll do. So
I think that's a really good
thoughts.
question because they're clearly not going to go the same directions they were in the books.
Correct.
I don't think. So
Exactly.
why did they even introduce these two characters almost? I almost feel like they could have just left them off. So, but now that they're here, yeah, what role will they play? Do you have, Matt, I saw you making a face there. Did you have an idea about
Um,
Galad and Galwin?
I mean, honestly, my first thought was, who cares? After that,
yeah.
sorry, that's just my
Fair.
my
I
my book
am
brain.
with you.
My book brain automatically clicks in, and I'm like, who cares? But we may see them, like flashes of them, maybe in the background, but I think we'll get their more personal story next season of what they did during the coup. But because I do think the coup is happening this episode.
Yeah, 100%.
That makes sense.
I think it could be quite fast. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
they put so much into the Black Arger fight that the coup could be,
Just as fast.
because if you think about it, the coup itself was really quiet and fast. It was the fighting that broke out after they had done what they did.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, so we don't need to see people battling and all the rest of it again. It could be a very quiet, you know, where they either kill or steal. But I mean, I look at it and go, we don't even need Galad anymore because we've got Perrin and Dane facing off. So yay. But I just wonder if the two of them might, we might just see them somehow involved. Like, because Elida could get Galad to help her because
True.
Galad and Garwin were raised with Elida. And,
Mm-hmm.
She would know that she could put across to him,
Yeah.
what's happening is not right. And he doesn't even like the White Tower anyway.
Yeah, there's some potential character building for those two boys, young men.
Even if it's the last time we see them.
Yeah.
They can't be there and not do something.
In chat, I see it's a pretty common anxiety. People are really worried about what's going to happen with Swan and Leanne. So, and how closely that's going to
I think I opened a can of worms.
It's okay, though.
You did.
It's understandable. There are certain things that were kind of tied to ideas about how things should go that can be a little harder to see adjusted to strong. I can't see them. I know Sofia Cannado is like a fairly large name, but hopefully they'll be able to keep her for this role. Yeah, and that's always something you have to consider when we're looking at this kind of thing is will the how many seasons are they going to keep her on the payroll for?
I hate looking at it from that perspective.
I know, but it's a reality.
I know, but it's
story.
Yeah. I love how they've already set the coup up. I mean, the rule that Swan used is going to be used against her. We only need 11.
Yeah. Yes.
That's going to be used to get her, and I love the way they set that up.
That's a good point because that was set up while we were watching the pre-show thingy, and somebody, Rafe, I think it was Rafe himself, said that's important or something when she's like, Tower Custom only requires 11. And I'm like, oh, why is Rafe telling us this? This is clearly important. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to come back to haunt her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we've seen Alviarin very briefly in the tower 2 or 3 times now.
Yes.
So, are they setting her up to be the new keeper of the Chronicles? And it's we're gonna get like more story on her, like more. She'll become a more central character. Okay.
Yep, because they have hidden her truth so well.
Right. Well, they haven't.
Right.
Really, I mean,
she just, I just will do what's right, and
I bet most show watchers probably don't even really recognize her as anything more than one of the many Aes Sedai who have had a couple of lines.
Yeah.
So.
Which is just so clever.
Yeah, they're going to bring her forward a bit here in episode 8, I think. Also, let's see. Does anybody else have any thoughts about the Tower coup plotline they want to share?
Not without getting roasted, no.
Just go for it. I'm already getting roasted. Come be roasted with me.
What about Varen?
Okay, I have that question. Will Varen remain in the tower or will she leave? That's actually a question on my list here.
See, I think Varen will help either, and I'm going to leave it open, either Swan and Lyanna or Swan or Lyanna to escape. And because we don't have Min to help them get out, and we don't have Laris. So Varen
Loras.
to me is the perfect
Baron
one
is Laris.
to exactly. And I think
Mhm.
Varen's the perfect one to actually do a getaway with one or both. Okay, so one of my little ones is that Varen and Garwin will help Swan and Lyanna get out. And that
Okay.
is like really different to the books. But I don't think they'll make Garwin quite as much of a, oh, I'll do this, oh, I'll do that, oh, I'll do this. Oh, I think that Galard will stand with a lighter and Garwin will help the others get out. There you go. There's a prediction.
That's a good
One
prediction,
of
actually. So you have
many.
kind of
I
a
have many
civil war,
variations.
brother against brother kind of a thing going on. Do you think Varen will go with, or is she just helping
Yeah.
them out? Varen's going with them.
Yeah, no, oh no, she's got to get out.
What do you
No,
think,
she's
Matt?
gotta get
Elida's already looked her in the face and said, "You fucking cross me."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she'll
She's
get out.
toast.
She'll be like, "Yeah,
Out.
time. We got to go."
Rapunzel wants a Swan spin-off series. So, okay. Well, lost my train of thought there entirely. Sorry.
You're talking about Varen.
Varen, do you think Varen will remain in the tower, Matt?
No, I think she's going to be sent out. I think Swan is going to send her out to see Rand, get to Moiraine. Things are coming
Ooh,
apart, and she knows it. So she's going to send Varen to
okay.
get Moiraine and Rand, I think.
Okay.
Oh, I like
There-
that too.
I feel like there has to be a tipping event. Like something has to happen that allows Elida to pull off the coup. Do you know what I'm saying? And that could be it. That's a really good one. Like, where'd you send Varen? What's the secrecy? You know, like the
Right.
thing that causes everything to unravel. And because it's already all the threads are loose for Swan. But
Elida's already
something
got it
has
though,
to-
because she's already told Swan, "I'm coming to the hall, and I'm going to say we're going to go chain Rand al'Thor." She's
Yeah.
already
Yep.
got
So
it.
she's just going to use
And that's why
that.
she's going to
That-
send
that's-
Varen. She's going to be like, you need to get there first. Go.
Okay,
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
Okay, so
I like that.
I do like that, too.
I
Matt.
like that too. That's really
Yeah.
good theory, Matt.
So Varen
that's the
is
only
her
thing that made
lifeline that she's sending out.
for
Get
me.
away with the message
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
The last
Because
the
she has
last
been
one out.
warned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nynaeve, did you have anything to add to that?
No, I think I actually completely agree with Matt there. I do think they will send Varen out, and I do think it will be because of the reasons that have been already brought up. I think it's vital that she gets out of the tower anyway, because she's such a crucial part of the story.
She is, but how will the tower in exile know what's happening in the tower? Does that make any sense? They,
Tell Iran Riyadh.
I guess that yeah, they'll just have to
Yeah.
be using that more. I mean, that's what they use in the books. But I was wondering if, yeah, I guess I will have to lean on that pretty heavily. They've set it up
Yeah.
really well in the show. I was worried about how they were going to handle the entire concept, but it does not seem difficult for viewers to follow what's happening there. So I like that. All right. Oh, and they did show, okay, so Swan has her box of letters. They did show that. They showed her putting a
Yeah.
letter. Do you think that's going to be important in any way, shape, or form? Will Elida be able to get into it? Is it not important? Is it just like a little fun show detail for us, book fans who are like, ah?
I wouldn't mind seeing it blow up in her face, honestly.
Yeah. Are we going to see that?
That'd be great.
She tries to
They can
open it.
heal
and
her
just-
after. I just want to see it.
Okay.
I've got
Yeah.
a question.
Yes.
If Swan sends Varen out, will Tomas get to go with her? Because we haven't seen Tomas all
Where is
all
Tomas?
season. I don't know. He's with the other waters, I guess. But if
The
she
other
gets
question
sent
is-
out, will Tomas go with her?
Will she be comfortable with leaving Adelaide behind?
Or bring her with her.
Oh no,
I'm
she'll
not sure
have
on
to
that.
take Adelaide. Oh no, Adelaide
Yeah.
is dead. Oh,
Oh, don't say that.
oh, come
You
on.
can't take that.
I was going to ask about Adelaide. She's actually here. I have a little surprise for you guys at the end of the stream here.
Like, no, not Adelaide.
I know.
I know.
They kind of
Oh,
made her
my
so
heart. I'm
almost
sorry.
cute with the fact that like mentally she's recovering somewhat, but she's still kind
I'm not
of.
sure that's real,
I
honestly,
don't know what's
at this
going on with
point.
her. Yeah, is she partially recovered? What she did there with Elida seemed pretty clever. And Varen
Mm.
seemed to have faith that she could pull it off, and she did. So,
Well, it depends on what part of her brain was impacted, right?
yeah,
Because the brain is not just this one glob that does everything. Different parts of the brain do different things, and you
if it's
can
just
be
speech, like a
quite
stroke.
with it mentally and not be able to express that back out.
I feel like she's kind of
And
with
you
it
can
because you
have
see those little
physical,
looks, right? She's giving these like when someone's talking, she gives this little look like she's
yeah,
picking up what's being said. So it
yeah,
seems to be like maybe
yeah,
verbally, like she's lost her verbal capacity or some of it, but like she still
yeah,
understands what's going on.
exactly, exactly. So it really depends on where in the brain that damage was, because
Yeah.
she looks like she's understanding more of what's going on around her, but can't necessarily interact back with her understanding,
Right.
so
Okay, so let's
mhm.
move on, if we can, to the Aiel and Rand in the Waste and all of that. So that has been, as everyone has let me know, because I'm terrible at paying attention to the trailers, like I said, Al-Kardal has been shown in the trailers pretty clearly going to happen. But
Yes.
what will we see happen at Al-Kardal? I mean, obviously, he's going to get up and make the announcement, let all the Aiel know
Mm-hmm.
the crap, break them, essentially.
Yeah.
So the questions are, what else will we see there? So you brought up I hate to even bring it up, but you brought up is Samael dead? Are we going to see him there in the waste? Does anybody think he's coming back, or is he dead?
Oh, he's not dead. No
He's
way.
not dead.
He's
Matt said
not
so.
dead, I
Not
don't
dead.
think so.
Okay.
Uh,
Are we going to see him back in episode 8? Like a hint
So
of it?
so that's a
Yeah.
yeah.
that's a
Okay.
Sam
Matt says
ain't.
yes.
Yeah.
Sammy. Okay. So what do you think, Nynaeve?
I don't think he's dead, and I think we need to have him in episode 8 because we don't have Osmo yet. So someone has to take on that role at the end of the Shadow Rising with the battle and the severing and all that jazz.
Okay.
So, and that's such a crucial finish to the book. So I think we need to have that crucial moment to finish um, the series. So I think he will take place of Asmo in that part of the story. But I do not, and I'm going to stress this, I do not think he's Asmodean.
Right. Okay.
I do not like the
So he's
theory
not
of
dead, but he's not
Samodian.
Asmodean. Gotcha. What
I
do you
don't
think,
like the
Koala?
Samodian theory.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It
I'm
doesn't make sense.
no, I'm totally with Nynaeve as Sam Odie ain't.
So,
Definitely not.
okay.
Definitely not. However, Samael attacked with the Shido, so
Mm-hmm.
he is
True.
taking on an Asmodean role from that side of things. We
Mm-hmm.
see in the trailer, we see Couladin at Al-Kedal with the tattoos on both arms. So presumably Samael did that. So if he's not dead, then there could be, some stuff go down. Although if he's not dead, I kind of gather that they will have him shielded, or like, does he get away? I mean, if he's not, so Matt, if he's not dead, tell me what's next with Samael.
I think he's probably being shielded. Where
Mhm.
they go from there, I have no idea, honestly, because they could slip him into that Asmodean role, but I would go so far as to say the Rand we see in the show doesn't necessarily need Asmodean as much.
Not
So
in the
I'm not
same way, no.
sure we
Yeah.
need, right. He could show him some stuff, I have no doubt. So I don't see him in that role, but I think I think Lanfear may kill him.
That would be
I
Mm.
think
actually
she
really cool. Everyone's
Mm.
the show watchers alone. I love every time I talk to people that have only seen the show. They're like, "Is Lanfear actually evil? She clearly is, but also is she?" So
man.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
doing a
he's a
great
very
job. Yeah, they're doing a great job of that, and that would
Where
be
does he
he's
another.
very
finish it?
That
many
would be
layers
another
of gray
great.
is Lanfear.
Yeah, it would be another great like uh, character beat for her. Like, okay, so she helped Rand by killing a Forsaken. Where is she? Like, whose side is she on? It would be really good. I like
Her
that,
own.
Matt.
I
Yeah,
mean,
her own.
always.
Like always. Yeah, I do like that. That's a good idea, though.
Well, I
Yeah.
think she tried to get him killed by sending him at Rand, and when he didn't
Yeah,
die,
me
Rand didn't
too.
kill
Oh
him.
yeah,
She's going to be
yeah.
upset, so
Mm.
she may do it
So
herself.
who shields him?
Um,
Hmm.
Moraine, the
Do you think Rand might shield him?
I think Rand
As
might actually start and explain it maybe as best he can on how to shield. I don't know. It's just you have to shield them, but there's no way a building falling on him killed him after we saw Lanfear get her, last
yeah,
season. It's
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we saw Rand break the shield on Moraine, which a male channeler had
yeah,
put
the
on
tied off
her.
one. Yeah.
And yeah, so I wonder if Rand will figure out how to shield and tie it
Ooh,
off,
that's a good
and
point.
that because otherwise they're gonna have to be running around holding a shield on Samael, which is messy with everything that's going to happen. Whereas if Rand were to be able to shield him and tie it off,
Yeah,
it would not be messy at all, and it would. And I think it would be a nice tying in of the fact that it happened to Moraine, and it was a man that did it, and that Rand was able to see the tied off part of the shield and everything. It kind of would
yeah, that would
help
work.
that start to pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's a great point. I forgot
yeah,
he saw it, so he could replicate it
Mm.
probably.
yeah,
It's a good call.
yeah.
Great call.
That is a really good call. Yeah, we have to
Mm.
remember that happened a lot in the books. They just saw it and were able to repeat things a lot about the
Mm.
Yeah,
characters.
Mm.
So, okay, so the ultimate thing, and if anyone is watching that is only a show only, this is where I ask you to please actually leave the room because this will be totally spoilery. I feel like for episode 8, but we know we're gonna see Moiraine and Lanfear, so that has to happen, right?
yeah.
Do we think it's
100.
going to happen in pretty much the same way? I don't mean the same location, obviously, but
No,
no, not at all.
no, not the same way at all.
So not to do with the door,
No,
not to do with the door frame.
Not
So
yet.
no, no door frame.
are they going to? Okay,
Oh, really?
yeah, okay, this is interesting. So Matt,
Ooh.
no door frame. How do you think it's going to happen?
There is definitely going to be a confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either of them is out of the show yet. I think next season, once we get to Tyr, is when it happens.
Okay, so you think this is just setting it up? They're like, this is more foreshadowing and setup. Okay.
This is their first clash, like power against power and Sarkarnan against whatever Lanfear is. Yeah, I think this is just the first clash. But
Okay, so what will
the
happen to
door.
the Sarkonnen? I'm saying that wrong. Sarkonnen, then.
Oh, she'll put it under her arm or in a pocket.
I think Moraine survives. Honestly, I think Moraine survives.
So she just holds on to it.
Yeah, she's going to have it.
And Nynaeve,
Yeah.
what did you think? Same kind of deal?
No, I actually thought they'd have a battle, and obviously Moiraine will use the Sarkhanen so that she's on the same power level as Lanfear, and she'll kill Lanfear but burn herself out. That's my prediction.
So
Oof.
same but different.
That's dark.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a dark person.
So kill Lanfear, not just like
Dark today.
that is dark. Koala, what was your thought?
I thought that it would have been a bit of I'm kind of thinking that we would have a lot of cliffhangers for the end of the season, that we've got Perrin walks off captive with the White Cloaks. Matt goes in the doorway at
then
Tanchico, and Moiraine and Lanfear battle for the Sarkhanen, go through the doorway, fall through the doorway. And so there's going to be 3 of them in there again, but it's going to be Mat, Moiraine, and Lanfear. And Moiraine would have the Sarkhanen with her instead of the Angreal that she had with her in the books. And Nynaeve, I guess the main thing is Nynaeve and Egwene won't be in quite such the dire straits, but you can't have all 5 of them on death's door.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of I see a bit of an ending thing of like Mat's going in the doorway, Lanfear and Moiraine are falling through the doorway, Elida's sitting in that striped dress that we saw in the Armelin's office unpacking all her shit, you know,
I
because
hate
it
that
was
already.
like,
I hate it.
you know, that will be kind of just an ending thing, you know, that we won't see that much of the coup because we got all the Black Archer battle and we don't have time. So it'll just kind of be all of these quick, like, whoom, you know, this happened to Swan and Lyanna. Elida's looking happy. One goes through this doorway. That's how I'm feeling. It's going to just end with everybody going, whoa.
I was thinking they're actually going to make it seem like Moiraine is dead. Maybe I'm wrong. The reason why is because Rand needs to lose his protection. This is definitely just a storytelling view of it. I'm not looking at it like specifically in this, but it is like a Lord of the Rings. Always, you know, he's the main protagonist, and he's still got his Gandalf. He's still got his mentor. But see, also she needs to swear to him at some point. I mean, that has to happen. It was foreshadowed. Even I don't know. I don't know. Is she gonna do that and then die? Okay, that's what I think. I think she has to do that at some point earlier in the episode, and then at the end of the episode, we have to think she's dead. And the reason why is so that at the beginning, at least for the first half of season 4, Rand gets to learn more about himself, become more assertive, and become more central. Because again, one of the things that show watchers are saying, and I presume this actually was true in the books as well, Rand just wasn't shining. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't got to come into his own. He needs that space to do
Correct,
that.
which is how it is, yeah.
And so Moiraine needs to take a back seat, and I'm not saying she's dead, obviously, like permanently, although you never know. But I do think they're gonna have to take her out. I hope I'm wrong, kind of, but that's just what I'm thinking. So, all right.
And then Melinda's there, and that's going to play out something with Lan, because like nothing's going to play out between Melinda and Lan if Moraine's in the picture.
Yes, right. Otherwise, that's exactly true. Also, okay. So a couple quick questions you guys brought up to me. Who stabbed Alana in episode 7? Will we get to find out in episode 8, or is that a plot line that we're just gonna have happen in season 4?
We'll find in season 4, and it's Slayer.
Next season, Slayer.
Okay, we have.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a next season Slayer storyline. There we go. Poor Alana.
Yeah.
Speared. Ow. All right. Let's see. You also. Oh, okay. So, will we see the 8th Forsaken named or officially revealed next episode, or is that going to get put off till season 4 also? Kind of round robin here.
Season 4, I think.
Season 4 says
season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what about the Ogier in general? Are we just pretty much done with Ogier? Are we cutting out Stedding and Ogier from the story because it's just a lot of information that we don't really need? Is that what we think is happening, or
I hope not.
See more?
That's a good answer. 100% hope not, because to be fair, why put them in the first place if they were just going to cut them 3 seasons in?
It's a really good question, Matt. What do you think?
I think we will see more Ogier, and I'm going to stop there because I have a book way that is absolutely accurate in the books for them to actually bring Loial back, and I don't want to spoil that. So,
aren't we in full spoiler now?
Are we?
If you want to,
we?
Let's go ahead and announce. Okay, so at this point we're going to talk spoilers through the end of the series now. We're near the end of the our stream. So yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
In the
Whatever
books,
one.
I believe it happens relatively early. They go to the setting. They are brought an Ogier who was found lost in the ways, who had lost his
So
mind.
sad.
What if that's Loyal?
Why would you say
And
that?
well, because Nynaeve knows how to heal madness. I'm just saying it's possible, and it happened in the books.
Where the
Nynaeve
touch
could
he's like,
heal
he
his
doesn't have a
madness.
soul, but he doesn't have a soul even. I mean, they say he's empty.
Well, I'm just saying.
My heart.
There is a way to bring him back. There is a way.
Okay. That's an interesting idea.
Oh no.
That could be another thing they might find a way to heal or something. Like
Yeah, I'm
maybe-
thinking Nynaeve may figure it out. Whatever's wrong with him,
Okay.
Nynaeve will be able to figure it out, and that leads her to healing madness. So
Okay, I
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
I like that, even though I hate it. So it's a
I'm
really
holding
good
up my own
emotional-
illusions. Leave me alone.
It's an emotional, a good emotional.
That's
tie.
completely Marmite.
Sorry about that. Oh.
See, fine.
I
I
had such
finally
an
joined you. I
opposite idea.
roasted myself.
All right.
You got dark. Matt,
That was
you
dark,
got dark.
but
Welcome.
I
I
like
know.
it, though.
I joined you. You told me to. I did.
We wouldn't tell us.
How late is that in the series? I know that that's when they go visit. That's not that late in the series. When they
No,
they
I think
ask to
Yeah.
go through
Either
the
the Great
ways.
Hunt or Dragon Reborn. I
two?
think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's either the Great
Two.
Hunt or Dragon Reborn. I think.
yeah.
It's the
100%.
dragon. It's the Grey Hunt because
It is.
it's
okay,
when
it is
they're
the Great
trying
Hunt.
to get a pathway to get to
Yeah.
Balm.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Rapunzel's
That
just
was
put you in
evil.
the box for a
I'm
timeout,
putting
Matt.
Bill in the box.
Okay,
for a
okay.
timeout.
Didn't even get time there.
Hey,
I
I'm an
didn't
evil
get
dagger. What do you
time
expect?
Oh my gosh.
I have a gentler theory,
So they're asking,
and it's
do you
not a
think that
gentling
Mock and
theory.
did Mock and Shin catch him? That's what someone in chat was asking. Is that what you're thinking will happen? Matt, I think that it was aimed at you.
That is entirely possible.
Yeah. Oof. Oh.
Yeah,
Oof.
but Nynaeve will figure it out because it's scared of Nynaeve.
Yeah.
We know that.
It is very scared of Nynaeve.
So, will we see by the end of the series a hint at Ishamael's return? Because we haven't really got a hint at it, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
I think it was just that cold
Good
opening.
question.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah,
What do you think?
that's my impression. I just don't think there's room for him
Oh,
in
by the way,
the
you
next
called it.
episode or anything.
Last time we chatted, you called that it was going to be in a flashback, and that's exactly where we saw him.
Well,
really good
until
flashback,
we
too.
have episode, we're not sure.
Until we have episode 8, but so far,
Yeah.
definitely called it.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Matt? Will we see?
I mean, it's
Ishamael
another
or a
cold
hint?
open we could have.
Could be.
Could be Samael is brought back by the Dark One, and Moiraine is created from Faris.
It would be a lot to add
That-
in, but they could do a hint, like
That is a possibility, but I don't love it. Yeah.
yes, like
I
some
don't-
very short thing.
I don't think they will, but it's mainly because there's no point in introducing Nameless until you bring in the 8th at least.
Yeah.
We need to know who
Yeah.
that is first.
That's
And I
true.
think they're saving that for the next season. So.
Okay,
I think next
Yeah.
season.
good
Yeah.
predictions.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have
Yeah.
a speed round for you guys. I'm going to put you back here. Sorry. Have a speed
Can
round
I
for you
ask
guys,
one
unless
more
you have-
question
I was gonna
before we
say,
do a speed round?
100%. That's what I was going to say. Before I do the speed round, do you have any final thoughts?
I've got a
ahead, Paula.
question.
Yep.
Who's going to end up with the sad bracelets? What's going to happen with them? We didn't talk about that with
That's a good
Tanchico.
point in Tanchico, because so right now, Mo Gideon has one.
Mhm.
The Panarch's Palace, one of them is still in there. And
Yeah, the Panax will have the collar.
The collar is in the palace
Black
because
Altar
Leandrin
has-
has one, Megiddian
has
has one.
Okay, so let's eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Well, Koala, you seem to go ahead. I don't think I've called on you first yet.
No, I asked it.
Okay.
I hope it gets Bale fired
Oh,
out of existence.
That'd be great.
or dropped in the center of the ocean. One of those two things.
For real this time.
Yeah, for real.
But
this time.
really, what do you think will happen? Not what do you want to happen?
I think it's going to
Who's
remain.
going to
in
end up
danger.
with it?
It's got to remain in play. That's all I think is why
Yeah.
introduce this and then kill it right off. As much as I want it to be killed off, it's got to remain a danger to Rand. So
So is Megiddian going to end up with them, and in another season, Semirag gets them off Megiddian?
something like
I
that.
think
Steve.
Eagle
mean-
Bjork gets them. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I both love and am terrified of her. So, yeah, I would love
Or
to see her
is
with those.
Nynaeve going to get them, and
No,
she
see, that would
tries
take
to
the.
get rid of them, and Semirag ends up with them? You know what I mean? Like,
It could be. It could go either way. It could be either like Nynaeve gets them and we think it's safe, and then later on they lose them again. But they've already lost the one. That seems like it'd be repetitive.
Yeah.
So I do feel like the Black Ajah. How would the Black Ajah get it from Mogideon? Unless Nynaeve defeats Mogideon, she runs away, and somehow they get him. In, I don't know. Mogideon having them seems like it would be the scariest outcome.
Honestly, she's a
Sure,
chaos
personally.
person.
Chaos.
It would not surprise me if she gave them to him. Just said, "Here you go, guys. Have fun." That is
I love.
She could go and
just-
give them to
I love
Elida.
them.
insane.
Oh,
Yeah, she
even
could just
worse.
shut the
would-
tower and just
Oh,
hand
that'd
them
be
right
great.
over to Elida.
Hand them to Elida. Oh,
Mhm.
I hate that, but I
and say,
love that.
"We'll get him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would actually be a very, very good twist to hand them to
Otris
Elida.
Sedai says either
Oh, I love
Leandrin
that.
plays Mogideon and slips away with it, or Mogideon plays Leandrin and runs away with it. So yeah, one of them plays the other. One of
Yeah.
the dark.
Yeah.
The
Because
dark
can we
demons
have
plays.
Semirag with the Shonshin when we've already had a Shamael with the Shonshin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
Is
so it
Alviarin
doesn't.
a blend of Semerhaig and Masana?
I think that's a.
No,
Or
that's
have they
Rima.
blended? Oh
I've
yeah,
heard that
that's the other
theory,
theory, isn't it?
Rima.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
That's my theory. Is it's got to be Rima.
Okay.
Ah, you think
We-
Rima is Semirag?
We never hear anything about her rescue. She wasn't on the boat with the rest of them coming back to Tarvalin. She's never mentioned as being there. So I'm like, how did you get there? And why are you okay? You just lost your warder like a month ago. You should not be okay.
And you were collared.
Yes. And I'm like, there's something
Yeah.
off with that one.
Huh, I have not
have-
looked into that theory.
and-
Now I'm super curious about it. Okay.
And I wondered why there wasn't even. It just felt to me like there was something wrong with that scene too, because I would have liked Nynaeve to have even gone, Rima, you're okay. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she's just like, oh, can you help me? So, and
Maybe they were
because
just
there's a
implying that she had been on the boat with them, but without specifying that she was actually on the boat with them, because Nynaeve seemed to have had a really good relationship with her in that scene. Like they had a camaraderie, which
It's
they
called
wouldn't have
compulsion.
gained in those few. Yeah, well, that's true.
well,
Okay,
Nynaeve
too much
knew her
compulsion.
from-
I know already. It's got me questioning everything.
Rye Mirage. I
well,
like that.
everybody could be a dark friend. You've got to,
Yes.
and everybody could be a Forsaken. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Until
Mhm.
you.
It's scary in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, folks. Are we ready for a quick speed round? Funny one? I don't know.
Yes.
It's not really funny.
Sure.
This is not funny. All right. I'm calling this Alive or Dead. At the end of episode 8.
Okay.
Okay. So
At
we're
the end of
only going to
episode 8.
go dead or alive. You don't get to explain. You don't get to elaborate. Whatever you mean by dead. So, and we're just going to go kind of go, and I'll just call out names here. So, dead or alive? Tom, Nynaeve,
Alive.
Koala,
Alive.
Tom, alive. Matt.
Alive.
Okay, so Tom, everyone's for alive. How about
And what about you, Centauri? Are you
oh.
answering?
I actually think Tom might die. That's why I put him on there.
Ooh.
In the
Nice.
it would be a sad way.
Welcome
Yeah,
to the
you
dark
don't
side.
get to add anything. You just get
I
to say
don't, you're
alive
right.
or dead.
Dead. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You're right. Didn't follow my own rules. All right. So how about Bear or Mullane? Either way. Alive or dead. Let's go the other way around. Koala.
That's two people.
I know. Either one of them dead.
One could die.
Okay. Matt.
Both alive.
Both alive. Nynaeve?
Both alive.
Both alive. Okay. All right, here comes a tricky one.
Zendari?
Adelaus. Matt, you get to go first. I'm sorry.
I want her to be alive, but possibly dead.
Okay, possibly dead. Koala.
She's she's alive, but she will die. Yeah,
Okay. At the
because
end
we're
of episode
talking
8?
end of episode
By
8.
the end of
End
episode
of
8.
episode 8, she's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nynaeve.
Dead.
I'm gonna
Don't hate me, people.
I know, no, me too.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
say dead.
Fair.
I'm gonna say dead. That would be sad. Okay. Keeper Leanne. Alive or dead? Nynaeve.
Alive.
Koala.
Alive.
Matt.
Dead.
Dead.
Mm.
Okay, I think that Leanne, I'm also gonna go with dead. These are tricky, even for myself. Okay, Sheriam, kind of out of the blue character, but people gotta die in this tower thing. So Sheriam, I know, Koala, the face you made. So you go first.
Well, I can't give an impression because she's not there. So how can I say she's not in?
Wait.
She's not cast for this season.
We got novices
so
having sex on
I
left
can't-
and right. Where's Shiriam?
That's true.
Yeah, so I can't give an alive or
She's not
dead at
in
the
the-
end of
Okay,
an
we can
episode.
skip
She doesn't
Sheriam. You have
appear
a good
in.
point. We haven't really seen her since season 2.
No.
Okay, so we have Samael. So alive or dead by the end of next episode. Matt.
Dead.
Dead at the end of the episode. Nynaeve.
Dead.
Dead. Okay, we got 2 deads. Koala.
Dead.
Dead. We're all
Hooray!
dead.
Yay.
I agree. I think we're gonna kill him permanent dead. Okay.
Yeah, get rid of that. Yeah. He can go.
Okay, so the only characters I had left, and this was kind of like the big thing. So is, we already sort of talked about this, but it's still fun to go around. So Lanfear, Koala. By the end of the episode, will we think she's alive or dead?
Alive.
Okay.
Alive, but presumed dead.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So will the audience assume she's dead? That still counts. So presumed dead. Nynaeve.
Dead.
Matt, what do you think?
Alive.
Alive and seen
Yeah.
not be alive. Okay. And what about Moiraine? So last character, presumed dead, dead or alive. Let's go backwards. Matt, this time.
Also alive.
Also alive. Nynaeve?
Dead.
Dead. Koala.
Alive, but presumed dead.
Alive but presumed dead. I assume I'm with Koala. Alive but presumed dead. That's what I'm going with too for Moiraine. Okay. Well, I hope that was fun and not like too stressful on you guys.
Oh no, that was great.
Okay. All
Got
right.
a little
Well,
peek into everybody's dark little soul.
who we think is gonna live and die. So a lot of people we think are gonna die next episode. Overall, even though some of us disagreed on which ones, we're gonna see a handful of dead characters next season, or presumed dead, at least.
After last episode, how can we not just
Yeah.
assume
I know.
that we're gonna die?
It's
A lot
getting
of them.
dark and staying dark. But you
Yeah.
know, it's one of the things a lot of people, I think that there is a feeling about Wheel of Time sometimes that it's kind of young adult fantasy and it's light, and maybe the first book is a little, it certainly leads in that way, and he did that on purpose. But those of us who are big fans understand that this is not a light-hearted fantasy. This has a lot of dark in it, a lot of serious issues, mental health issues, a lot of how people cope with all sorts of horrible things. So best to prepare. Gird your loins, as they say.
Oh.
Next episode's going to be hardcore. So how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 for episode 8?
500.
11.
5.
12.
Yeah. I don't think I've been this excited for an episode of television in a really long time. Like, I am to the max.
Yeah.
Psyched up. Definitely.
Yeah, they got a lot to wrap up, and I'm just excited to see how they do it. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be good.
I
really
just
excited.
hope that because they've got so much to wrap up, that they don't cut too many corners and make it too fast paced. That's my big fear, that everything is going to move way too fast and they're going to try to get too much done in an hour's space, and it's just going to compromise the story.
It's a legit fear because I think one of the
Yeah.
places the show has consistently
Yep.
had to constantly work on is pacing.
Yeah.
But they've been doing better and better at it. Like they've given us those character
Yeah.
moments. They've been giving us a lot more space to develop the things that need to develop. And yeah, so I have good hopes for it though. Well, I really thank you all, guys. Thank you all for coming. This was fun, a fun discussion. It was lovely to meet you too, Matt. It was the first time we've been on a stream together.
Thank
You're
you for
welcome
having
back
me.
anytime we do this again. So it was fun. And Koala, someday I'll be on your channel, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do something on my channel at some point.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So yeah,
I'm
thank
always
you
awake
everybody.
at 3 a.m., so let me know.
Yeah.
My schedule's
Yeah,
pretty
no,
it'd be
flexible,
great.
too. All right, let's see
I'm a
what's.
student. My schedule's very flexible.
I
So
haven't seen it, but Atrociditis says the preview has them so hyped. So I might watch the preview right leading into the episode just to sort of check it out. But I know what you mean. With Koala, I don't know about you guys. Like I said about trailers. Sometimes when my husband will even send me a trailer and say, "Do you want to watch this movie tonight?" I only watch like 10 or 15 seconds of trailers tops most of the time for most things
Right.
because I hate how much trailers tend to reveal about a thing. So I get a little too easily spoiled, I guess. But at the same time, for this one, I don't
It's
know.
I
interesting.
love a good trailer.
Yeah.
I
It's
love a good
interesting
trailer.
because I find that trailers, while they do reveal a bit, they deliberately mislead you
Yep.
more
Good
than they
trailers.
reveal.
Good trailers
And
will do that.
that's
Yes.
why I'm always happy to do the trailers, because it's like, oh, look at that and that and that and that have got nothing to do with each other. The line that's spoken didn't belong in that scene at all, you know.
Yeah. They do
Whereas when
mislead in
they do
this.
a what's coming up next, it's here you go, this is what you're going to see next.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
that's where I go, no, I just want to wait. I want to digest what I've just been given and then walk fresh into the next one. And there are no rights or wrongs. Everybody has, you know, my daughter Tari, she always reads the last page of a book before she begins to read the story.
I don't
Yep.
get that.
She-
I don't know
Yeah.
why
I couldn't
people
do that.
Because
do
she
that.
gets too anxious. She has to know how it's going to end before she can go through what's going to happen in the story. And I don't understand it
I couldn't
at
do that
all.
either.
I don't
Nope.
get
Yeah,
it. I don't get it.
I don't
No.
get it, but
Tell
sure.
her
No.
just
No, but that's
Each
how,
their
you
own.
know, but that's how she does it. So
yeah.
Yeah, Arosa says they're taking
yeah,
the
we
day
all
off
have different
and having
mixes.
their kids babysat even. So, yeah, a lot of people taking serious preparations for episode 8. Bring a box of
Absolutely.
tissues, I think, definitely, because I don't know about you guys, but I
Yeah.
cry
Yeah.
my way through all of
Yeah.
these anyway.
Oh, so
Yes.
many tears.
Well, hopefully, I am going to do a stream next week. It is going to be show watcher only, 0 spoilers for book readers. I will talk to you guys if you want to come and chat. We're going to have Laura. I think any of you have watched my stream. Laura is on frequently when we talk about Good Omens, and she's recently got into the show. I might have another book. What are they
Fabulous.
called? I was going to say book virgin, but that doesn't sound right. Like show
First
only
timer.
watcher,
First
first
timer.
timer, yeah.
Yeah.
So that they're
First
not aware.
timer.
Yeah, I call them
Yeah.
show only.
Yeah, so we'll want to keep it to that. But that's fun, I think, to get the perspectives of people who don't have all this like foreknowledge that
Yeah.
we have. We have all these expectations we're putting on the show. We have all these emotions we're putting into. We're more invested in the characters, like they're almost pre-built for us. So there's like a whole different experience that they're having than we're having. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys then, and maybe if any of you want to come back and chat with her about
Yeah.
how she's feeling about it too. So.
Yeah, that'd be
All
good.
right, thank you
Yep.
guys so
Count
much
me
for your
in.
time. I really
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for
Thank
having
you
me.
for having us.
Of course.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
we'll
been
see you
great.
guys.
I've really enjoyed this. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sleep well and wake.
Bye,
Sleep
everyone.
well and wake.
Sleep well and wake.